This is my video for a vegan beef Wellington. To get started on the beef Wellington, we're going to start off making some vegetable stock. There's just one vegetable stock cube. Make sure it's a vegan one. Make sure you avoid milk powders.
Add 240 ml, that's 1.5 cups of hot water. Now dissolve your stock and leave it aside to cool.
Right, so now we're moving on to the rest of the wet mix. So like with any seitan, you have a wet mix and a dry mix, and you don't do anything until they're both 100% ready, then you just combine.
Roughly chop half an onion.
And then to that, I'm adding beetroot. Now, this is purely for colour.
Add 300 grams of beetroot, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 1 tablespoon of vegan Worcester sauce, then blitz together. Now add your blitzed ingredients to your stock and mix together. Now into a large bowl, put 350 grams of vital wheat gluten and 70 grams of plain flour. Now to your dry bowl, add 4 tablespoons of porcini mushroom powder, pinch of salt, and stir to combine.
Great, so now I've got my dry ingredients all mixed up and my wet ingredients mixed up, and these have cooled back down.
Cut 2 large sheets of extra strong foil.
It's going to be a very wet dough, and you plop it straight on, and as you roll, make sure your nails don't touch the foil, and roll and tuck, roll and tuck.
Now add your wet to your dry ingredients and combine. Continue to stir until it forms a dough. Place on your foil and begin to roll. Then roll a second time with another sheet of foil.
So now I've got this all rolled, I'm going to pop it in the oven on 180 for an hour and 20 minutes. And once it's cooked, just bring it out of the oven, let it get down to room temperature, and then put it straight into your fridge. And in the fridge, you want to keep it ideally overnight, so you do this a day in advance. Or keep it in the fridge for about 6 to 8 hours, because it does get better and firmer as it cools down. So in the oven now for 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Now the pate.
Okay, so this is quite a simple pate, and it's all about really rich, intense, deep flavours.
Finely chop 4 garlic cloves and some rosemary. Add straight into a hot frying pan. Chop 500 grams of chestnut mushrooms.
We're going to get them cooking down for a long time on the hob to cook all the water out, because you don't want a wet pate going into your pastry, as you'll end up with a soggy bottom. And I'm sure none of us want a soggy bottom.
Then add your mushrooms to your frying pan.
Straight away I'm going to add my chestnuts. So you could of course use fresh chestnuts. I'm using chestnut puree just for ease. With this it does have a little bit more water in, so it needs to cook down just like the mushrooms do.
Keep cooking your mushrooms down, then add 200 grams of chestnut puree. Add a pinch of salt. Keep cooking your pate down for at least another 20 minutes to cook the water off. Then pop it in the fridge to cool. Unwrap your seitan, lay out your cling film and spread your pate evenly over it. Then pop your seitan log in the middle of your pate and roll the cling film around the seitan. Make sure both ends are sealed.
You can actually freeze this and have this done way far in advance, like a month in advance for Christmas. And then on the day, all you'll need to do is just wrap it in pastry, and it'll be like cooking it fresh. But if you're going to do it straight away, you pop this in the fridge for 20 minutes to firm up before you pop it in the pastry. Great, so now I'm going to roll out my pastry. A little bit of flour on the rolling pin, a little bit of flour on your surface, and then just roll this out into a rectangle. So I've rolled out my pastry into a rectangle. I've had my seitan log in the fridge for about 20 minutes just to firm up with the pate on there, and I've put the oven preheat on at 190. So I've got some plant-based milk here. Just do a little bit of milk wash around the edges. It's going to help stick the pastry down. So with the first piece of pastry, I'm just popping that on top here, pushing that down, So then you just fold the second one over the top. There we are. And then again, this seam, just push that seam on down. Cut off just this top extra bit of pastry here. You don't have to, I just don't want too much pastry on the end and it gets a bit claggy. Corners in and over. Stick that down. Beautiful. Now I'm just going to repeat that on the other side. So you fold the corners in, seal it back over, but this all looks really nice and neat.
Then flip it over so the seam is on the bottom.
So that's ready now. I'm going to pop it in the fridge for 10 minutes just before I put it in the oven.
Then do a quick milk wash. I'm using soy milk. Now quickly score your pastry, don't cut all the way through. Add a little pinch of salt. Now put your Wellington in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes until golden. Once cooked, leave to rest for 10 minutes.
So I've had this resting for 10 minutes and it will now just come off the paper really easily because it's rested. Oh, it's going to be so good! So this is the moment, the big reveal. So let's cut this open. So here we are, we've got the pink seitan, the really punchy, strong pate, and a crisp, flaky, perfect pastry.
Then serve up with your roasties and healthy greens, then top with your vegan gravy.
Can't wait to dive into this. I really hope you found it useful, guys. And if you have, please subscribe to my channel and I will have lots more Christmas videos to come. For now, I've got some serious eating to do. Let's go. Oh, it cuts so nicely. Oh, look at this. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next week. Oh my god. Dream. Thank you, guys. What was that? I don't even know. Oh my god, I felt like Salt Bay. I just noticed the way I was doing it. Goes in the oven on 190 for half an hour. So let's put it in the oven.
What's that wrong? What are you doing?
So then this goes in the oven on 190 for 30 minutes.
Compose.
How did you know?
You had a grin like the Cheshire Cat. How can I not know?